we do. Help us, Lord. All right. So maintain your identity outside of any relationship or situationship that you would get yourself involved in. And then I also want to say journal, right? Journal. And I talk a lot about this on your channel because there are so many different aspects of journaling, and it gets you to process your emotion. And when you see the things that you're thinking written down on paper, whether it's reflective or if it's goal oriented, whatever it is, and you see that on paper, it looks different to you, right? It looks like, okay, you're taking your thoughts and now seeing them. It really gives you a revelation sometimes. So to control your attachment, start to write things down, right? It's good for you to see things on paper visually as opposed to just having it stored in your mind. And also, I would say to pray, or if you're not, if you are a person that meditates, whatever your religion is, do more of that. Pray and meditate and anything that supports mindfulness. And I would also say to, in order to control your attachment, you exercise, find time to exercise. We know what endorphins do, right? And it's a feel good, chemical and all the things. So do more of that. Also reading. We know that reading is also a calming thing and also time for yourself. All right. All these things help to control attachment. You have your time designated that is just for you. Don't lose yourself in relationships and with a man, right? And this is an important one. Learn to be alone. I went to this celebration over the weekend, and there was a young lady there, and she said that she was doing the work of therapy in her life, and it was such a breath of fresh air because it was so many nuggets that she shared. And she said that, do you know how hard it is to sit with yourself and to just be reflective of the things that were traumatic to you, or the things that what happens when you sit in silence, how hard it is to be alone without distraction and just think. And she talked about how much of the work she did, and how much of the investment she made in investing in therapy. And it was so good to hear somebody say that, because I've always believed that. I love to sit with myself, and one of my favorite things to do is in the shower, right? My children make the joke. They say, "Mommy, who were you talking to in there?" And I'm like, myself. I'm not okay with sitting by myself, and I'm not saying that I'm a person that does not have like my the things in my life that is, not perfect, that I have to sit with and that I have to take accountability for. I have to reflect and try to navigate through. All of this happens when I sit with myself, when I learn to be alone in my solitude. And, I'm thinking out loud and I'm processing. So in order to control attachment, we also have to learn to be alone, not distracting ourselves, not always having the TV on, not trying to do things so that we don't think about the traumas or, the things that are happening in our life. Learn to be alone to think. We have to think. There's a quote that says that there are people that rather die than to think. I don't want you to be that person. I want you to be the person that learns, that is okay with being alone. Not just for the thinking aspect of it, but just on the whole, be okay with your own company. Go and take yourself out and sit down, and people watch if you have to. Sit down and read a book, go to the beach by yourself. You were born by yourself, and you're going to leave this earth when it's your time to leave. It's going to be by yourself, not with someone. So learn to be alone. All right. Another point, pay attention to red flags early. Don't run through them. Don't run through the red flags. If you see something that, is going to be a problem later down, address it. Don't think that people are going to change. And so then, no. Learn to pay attention to red flags. And the last one, never ignore reality because of potential. Never, ever ignore reality because of potential. What it is what it will be. And people rarely change unless they do the work to heal, unless they do the work to become better, right? And I talk a lot about, because it seems to be a theme, especially, you know, in my realm, in the Black community, where there are themes of just broken Black men, that would have witnessed abuse when they were growing up, and so they are verbally and physically abusive toward women. Or if Grammy struggled, you're gonna struggle too. I'm not saying that that's all men, but I'm speaking to the women that know what I'm talking about, right? And so, yeah, don't run through those red flags. Whatever you do, sis, do not run through those red flags. Never ignore them, all right? Pay attention to red flags early. Never ignore reality because of potential. We're going to take people at face value. We're going to take them at face value, and we're only going to engage with people who are aligned with what we want for our lives. And in order to know if they're aligned, we have to know what we want. Women, sis, queen, you have to know your worth first before anyone can see your worth. You have to know your value before anybody else. That nobody is going to treat you better than you treat yourself. I'm sorry, or who you think you are. And that's the reality. So we have to do the work as women first before we attach ourselves to anyone, good or bad. They can only be as good in our life as we are to ourselves. So if you truly love yourself, have boundaries. And the things that I would have said on, how to control attachment, practice them. Even if we practice about 4 of them? Or one a week, so that we do not find ourselves in a situation where we are, some women want to end themselves because they're emotionally attached. They can't take the pain when the man falls short of what he said he is, right? We saw the red flags, we ran through them. So now we have lost years of our lives, or we're losing our peace, our finances, we're losing our sovereignty because we give power to the wrong person, right? Let's take accountability, ladies. We were born whole. Women are born whole. And one of the greatest forms of self-love is learning how to walk away once reality no longer matches the fantasy. I love that. Walk away once reality no longer matches the fantasy, because real love should add peace. Real love should add clarity. Real love should add stability. Real love should add support and expand your life, not destroy it. Real love is not suffering, ladies. Real love is a plus, not a minus, right? It's a balancing act. And if that situationship or whatever you have going on is causing this to be the man and this is you, you know what to do. I don't even have to tell you. So I would have hoped that whatever I said, I've been talking for 53 minutes. Can you believe it? And if you've stayed this far, you rock with me real bad. And I thank you so much. And if you stayed this far, leave me a comment in the comments. Tell me, what resonated with you. Is there something that you would add, right? And let me know, I guess anything that you want to say. I'll be excited to hear from you, because you would have stayed this long. So, I always end my video with saying it is always my intention for you to live a life of intentionality and abundance. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you want to have more conversations like this. Thanks again, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.